That's where we need to be. Be the light that set them free. Come on, get on the train. No longer need to live in the pain. Station 8, platform 32. Get on your feet. Get off your knees. Find the truth will set you free. Lies are like lines in the sky. See them there, there's nowhere to hide. Like the children stolen in the island mine. People dying way too young. Sudden adult death syndrome. Doctors baffled as can be. Come on, get on the train. No longer need to live in pain. Station 8, platform 32. Get on your feet. Get off your knees. Find the truth will set you free. PM, who's at 28? Grow some balls, it's not too late. 90 years is too long to wait. Need to breathe the breath of life. Not be banned from the surgeon's knife. Bravery from a girl, just 16. Come on, get on the train. No longer need to live in pain. Station 8, platform 32. Get on your feet. Get off your knees. Find the truth will set you free. Take my hand, I'm trembling. Take me to where light lives.
Okay, everybody, let's see how we go tonight. We've got Lee coming on. Last time we had some sound issues. We'll see if we have any issues tonight. But let's bring on the pharmacist from Darwin. He refused to get jabbed. He lost his job, and finally they got him back because he's so good at his job. So let's see how he's going. Hi, Lee. How you going? The People's
Hi,
Pharmacist. I
Michael.
love it.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Can everyone
Good to
hear
see you.
clearly?
Yeah, let's see. Can everyone hear clearly? Already my audio is glitching. Better get ready for X. We'll see how we go, and we'll just see how we go. I might move to connection is unstable. I'm close to the router, but the router is right here. So it's right there. So let's see how we go. So we've got a list of what you want to talk about tonight. Let me bring it up here. And how's your week been, Lee?
Oh, wonderful. It's always been excited with new things in life.
Oh, yes. So this week here, sorry to interrupt. This is, so we're talking about long COVID, immune overdrive, and I might let you go through them. Dysregulation. But, and how many people are you finding are coming into your pharmacy suffering from long COVID? G'day, David.
Pretty much every few person,
Wow.
and yeah, it overlaps. Long COVID is just one of the symptoms of many symptoms. One of it is fatigue, but it overlaps almost all of those what long COVID has been affected that drains your
Yeah.
energy. So I can explain further today, but in general is tiredness, fatigue, and all this. Sleeping issues, a lot, and these are all related, but you don't really discuss this stuff with clients customers unless
Yeah.
they they want to know, but hardly you discuss these kind of details, but you still help them with supplements and all this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I saw a study coming out of people telling people to get out into the sun 15
Yeah,
minutes a day. Have you heard
like
about
I
that?
mentioned the last 2 weeks about the vitamin D, the purpose of it
Mm.
is so important because it is it is the one of the reason why those people survived the COVID previously is has to correlate with the vitamin D levels, like Singapore study I mentioned before.
Yeah.
So, and also it helps you to modulate your immunity back to hopefully restore back to a better baseline, which
Yeah.
we call immunity to restorations. Like I mentioned last 2 weeks about vitamin D and A. If you do D and A, is even more potent and better because the A complements D as well. The A is very important in your mucosal barrier immunity.
So the
IgA.
A, so if you want to take D, you really have to take vitamin A as well because they.
If you take D for quite some time, then you need, but quite a number of people also low in vitamin A, like all these orange color fruits and foods. Not many people eating a lot nowadays, and even if they eat, they don't know how to maximize that beta carotene by using fat or oil to cook it until the color comes out, because you cannot
Okay.
absorb without the fat.
So
So
what
it's
are
all about
orange
understanding.
foods?
Orange
What are
foods,
orange foods? Carrot?
your melon, carrots, especially carrots is one of the highest, the
Yeah.
easiest as well. It's not expensive, so
Pumpkin?
this is that's why they are coming up with this vitamin D. But the study has been there for I don't know very long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of these
Yeah.
studies.
All right. Well, why don't we get started on what you want to talk about tonight, Lee?
Hmm. Do you have the list that you haven't put it
Yes.
up?
I'll just I'll get it up here.
Yeah,
I don't have it as a picture. Um, bear with me for. I know what I'll do. 2 secs. Yeah, that's good. Okay, it's just coming up now. Come on. Oops. Here we go.
yeah,
Done.
yes. That's quite a long one. I didn't. This is quite long.
Yeah.
Oh, because I think I added. Is it? Did I double up? Okay. First thing is you want to talk about today is long COVID fatigue. Talk about metabolic collapse, and in particularly the last time we met, we talked about immune overdrive and dysregulation. So I wouldn't go deep into that one again. And then we want to talk more focus today is about long COVID fatigue, what has to do with autoimmune problems, because there is a strong link, and there can be a future risk of more autoimmune problems that I always talk about, but I explain today more. And also why more women suffer from long COVID fatigues, and
Oh
why
wow.
is it? Yes, far more than. That's why all my clients previously, almost all of them are women.
Wow.
And yeah, and long COVID has to do with your gut immune connections as well. And then finally, we'll talk about nutritional strategies that's practical that we can use to reduce autoimmunity, in particularly because of the context I explained today.
Oh, this
And
is
then
doubled up. Sorry.
we'll talk about the elimination diet. We explain what is the foundation of it, and then we try to simplify it because there are many but the core principle, I just want to explain that so that you can also do that as well.
Yeah, cool.
Understand. Yeah.
I just want to, just before we start, Robert Roach. Good day, Robbie. Are the unvaccinated suffering from long COVID?
If you're talking about long COVID symptoms, yes, definitely, because we talk about
Wow.
shedding and all this. I mean, the end of the day, it's not just about the virus. In particularly based on mechanism, it is the spike proteins.
Yeah.
Whether how it comes about shedding, you get the jab, but these are people not aware of it. It is simple thing, but yet these are, I think, there's the most potent harm-causing pathogens or particles that ever being I don't call invented or being existed in a way. And you can see from the outcome of happening to the society today by that alone.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
every day you discover more and more problems, and all this is already confirmed what I was afraid 2 years ago, even before they have this vaccine being rolled out, because of the mechanism of it, the structure of it, and the formula of it. As a pharmacist, you know all this stuff, and I'm just doesn't come to my mind of why people are not. I think I know why. It's they're not brave enough. Full stop. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So
So you knew before, as a pharmacist, you knew that this was not a good idea. Getting
I
into the
told my
cells.
housemate the first thing I said that it will be found in your brains. Very specific. I said you found in your brain, you
Wow.
found in your
You said
heart,
that
you
first
found.
off. I got to stop saying wow, but you keep making me say wow.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah. Because of the lipid nanoparticles. I understand about formulas when we do and this Paul Marik, all these very experienced doctors, all they're seeing everywhere now because they can detect the spike proteins now. You can detect it. You can have some kind of immunoassay, something like my friend in US, like I say, can detect it 2,500. There's numbers there even. So it's not
so
something
you're
that
saying
doesn't
that there's
exist.
a test in
Yeah,
in
but I don't know what
hydrophonia.
is it
There's a
called
test in
though. I don't
America
know what
for
is it
spike
called.
protein.
Yeah, I don't know what is it called. That's the thing.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to
Yeah,
find out, wouldn't it? Maybe we should do
yeah.
that for next week, because a
Mm.
lot of people here, I think, would want to take that test.
Definitely, it'd be good. And by the way, many people also have been doing is looking at their blood. This simple
Yes.
thing. Look at your blood, how sticky they are. When the sticky they are means that your membrane lost the electrical charges, so they stick together. They don't repel each other like you have negative charges on your cell membranes. And these are all causing sluggishness in everything. When your blood is sluggish, whole your body system sluggish, and main contributor of fatigue as well. All the clots and all this, because your traffic is having traffic jam. You can't move stuff across. Your oxygen, your waste cannot move easily. So
Yeah.
these are all contributors, you see.
Wow.
And
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, how about yeah, how about let's get going with the first one then. So the first one is long
It's a
COVID
long COVID. Yeah, it's a
meta.
metabolic collapse. What happens is our body has this. Every cell has this mitochondria. It's a powerhouse of a cell. It will need to produce ATP for energy for any living cell to continue to live and to multiply, reproduce. So
Hey,
sorry.
I just said hi to someone in the audience.
Oh, yeah. So these cells are the one that's being affected by the spike proteins and all this. And as long as the spike protein, what I say is, as I think one of the doctors say the same thing, is anything. I think it was Shukri. That's the one from Thailand. One. He says same thing. Is anything the spike protein touches, it damages things. It's that bad.
Wow.
So means that your body. That's why your body. I'll explain later. So why your body is so also eager to like clear up all this spike protein by itself, trying to though, but
Yeah.
might not be as effective because of certain properties of the spike proteins as well. So long COVID is when you have these spike proteins that's being causing every part of the body or inflammation, in particular inflammation, and then immune activation. So it causes immunity to be overreactive, mount a strong immune response, and particularly women. I'll explain why. and then towards the spike proteins. And then it also, because it mounts such a strong response, it can cause collateral damage. So that's how it causes a lot of damage to other cells, all the cells surrounding your body tissues, they can be damaged, and because of inflammation response. And from the last time we mentioned, we have overactivation of immunity that is constantly on alert, and all this, it drains yourself. So we're talking about metabolic collapse. You want to see a big picture, it's like a tank. You have a tank of a certain amount of energy use, drain, and then your certain amount of energy comes in, the source of the water into the tank. Imagine your tank have few cracks, and then it's leaking, and then the cracks is getting more and more cracks. So you leak more than what you can replenish. This is a picture I want people to get. So your metabolism, your cell cannot create enough energy, metabolize to make ATP energy. That's why they are run on depletion. They are getting, the tank is leaking and never full. It cannot be fully filled because of the leaking is more than what it can sustain.
Yeah, I
So
see. And that's what's
this is the
causing the
concept.
fatigue.
Yeah. I don't want to go too details. This is the thing you need to understand, and
Yeah.
and this is what. But I want to go through more detail later. Is more the autoimmune parts that a
Sure.
lot of people are not looking at it. So the next one we're talking about is the immune overdrive. Like I mentioned the last time, is your immunity is switched on all the time. Imagine you have an engine that runs 24/7, no stop, on all the time. It will damage, it will become broken sooner or later, and then it will go into exhaustion if it is manpower. Let's say if you ask a human to work 24/7, they cannot. So the immune system is a living cell, immune cells. So they cannot keep on working non-stop, and then they cause this. You can hear a lot of this term nowadays, the doctors talking about, it's called immune T cells exhaustions or immune exhaustion. They literally run themselves to exhaustion. And then this is because the immune system is one of the power energy hunger cells. If they need to work, that's why because they are the first line to keep you alive. Without immunity, you die a long time ago. Because have you heard of this bubble boy? Someone
Yes.
that has that live in the bubble. That kind of imagery that you cannot expose outside because your immunity cannot even able to make sure you survive.
Yeah.
So this is this is what is becoming, is when our immune system become overdrive, dysregulated, until it starts to deplete. That's when the real danger comes in. And with the last time we mentioned about the petri dish. Think of the petri dish that grows all sorts of microbes in the lab.
Yeah.
That is how some people's body has become. That's why they have all sorts of infections all the time. And men, particularly, unfortunately, you are getting worse of the end of stick. That's why actually more men actually die from infections, and
Wow.
and more women have autoimmune. I'll explain that as well. So you have the long COVID fatigue. That is, let me show. Can you put the first slide? Will makes a difference. We describe the difference.
Is that slide which one? Number one,
The first one, slide
LC?
one.
Slide one?
Yeah, the slide one. Yeah, number one. So this is just a comparison of the long COVID versus the chronic fatigue syndrome. That this is also have multi-factor. For those before COVID, they also have some kind of symptom. They suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome, and and then there's comparison with burnout and post-viral symptoms like post-flu. So you're looking at the main symptoms. They always talk about persistent fatigue, let's say long COVID. And then if you see the chronic fatigue, it's usually profound. That's why this is what it comes out from the term chronic fatigue syndrome. And then if it's burnout, it's just you exert beyond what your body can handle. And then you have a viral infection that will be triggered by the virus. But we want to mention about post-exertion malaise is the one that for long COVID, actually, it is one of the classical symptoms that often present. So it means that you cannot recover energy even you sleep. Have you heard of that?
No. So it
So
says
it's
there,
like
fatigue not relieved by rest.
yes, yes, that's correct. And one of the hallmark symptom of chronic fatigue syndrome is this one as well. So you can see there are a lot overlapping as well.
Yeah, I'm
And
looking at them now. Common brain fog,
common brain fog.
sleep
We'll
issues.
talk more about brain fog next one because they are all related. So I'm trying to get sleeping issues. That's why we have a lot of sales of helping people to sleep, what they call Restavit and all these sleeping tablets, because they have sleeping issues, because of very tired, what they call the tiredness cannot be easily reversed. Yeah,
Yes.
so you can see that the long COVID, the primary triggers, of course, is the spike proteins. Infections involve the spike proteins, of course. And if you see that chronic fatigue syndrome, also some kind of virals can make it worse, but they have some kind of ongoing gut bacteria issues and all this, and also probably previous vaccination as well. I've seen some patients with previous experience. Also, that's why it have some relation because when I'm going to explain in the autoimmune areas, they will explain further. So the burnout will be usually just chronic, but it can be recovered burnout mostly because your body has the ability to recover usually. And the post-viral will be just virus as well. So you can see the recovery of long COVID, it's variable. Usually we see it can be long-term. Some people, they have this baseline that this is how much, how they feel good in the last time. They can't even remember the last time. So they can't tell that really that are they really recover or not. You know what I mean? So they have a
Yeah.
different feeling of it. They can tell you like they are this tired, and they used to not to be like that, but now you are more tired than usual. But they don't noticing it. But if you are someone looking at them, then you notice that.
Yes.
So with
I
chronic
saw
fatigue, is the same as
someone
well.
here. Uh, I thought I saved it, but there was someone here in the audience I saw who said they have long. Oh, here it is. I have almost most of these. Been awake for 3 days now and still going.
Wow.
People can't sleep, and
Mm,
she said again here.
mm,
Uh,
mm.
there was someone here that she was saying that for her it's up and down. She might have a
Yeah,
good day. It's like your body is fighting itself. I nearly died twice, but refused to be taken down.
yeah. See,
Um,
so there's how also if you have the will to fight, you can override some of those. And
yeah,
but the most important is you need to know what is the trigger of it. Mostly is from the spike proteins. If you can deal with most of the inflammation to start off with, then you are in the process of getting better. If you know how to deal with inflammatories, we'll talk about the food part later as well. So it will help with the. But today I want to focus more on the autoimmune part because that understanding, it's looking for more, if even for looking for even longer term prevention. Yeah, because
yeah,
of what I'm going to explain. Because this is my real concern. They are those that in the beginning, if they are injured, all this, your body is starting to recover as well in most people because you still eat something, so you have some nutrition coming in. Your body is trying to recover to a certain degree. But what I want to share is the autoimmune part that if you're not being dealt with, because it's very subtle, this one, because you don't know. So we might can do the test and all this later. We can see that what it is lurking behind, and because we're seeing autoimmune disease being popping out everywhere. You literally every few people I talk to in pharmacy, they're autoimmune problems,
that's
and
incredible. So they've
and
destroyed
I
the
mean like they,
immunity.
they don't name that sometimes, like thyroid problems. Almost all thyroid problems are autoimmune, by the way.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're claiming that they've ruined the immunity and the natural immunity of
It has
lots
to
of
relate to what
Australians.
we mentioned last time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a part I think
Yeah.
if we're able to fix this, then healing will become faster. I believe so.
I
And
see.
I can
Yeah.
I can explain why. So this why I like to in the upstream health concept, I like to deal with things that are not just short term and also long term that can make others downstream easier.
Yes.
And that's why when you explain the sort of elimination diet, all this understanding of it is important instead of just doing a kind of diet and this and that, because it's quite you need a quite understanding of it. And so this is we want to talk about now is long COVID and autoimmune conditions.
You want the next slide?
Not yet, but I just want to explain. This is something I learned quite a while ago, quite a number of years ago, from this professor called Yehuda Schonfeld. He talks a lot about autoimmunity, and more than 10 years about 10 years ago, even I was very interested in autoimmune problems, because I'm curious why the body keeps attacking itself.
Yes.
It's not because the body gone rogue in a way, just decided I want to be bad. Like human beings, when they gone rogue, they have some kind of meaning behind it or agenda that they want to achieve. Immune system doesn't have that. You need to understand that.
Yeah.
What they do have is they don't have the system that support what they need to do their job, and they have to you can say more like downgrade something. So it means that someone being trained to know how to shoot a gun, you ask someone that doesn't know how to shoot a gun to handle a gun, most likely you shoot someone else, shoot yourself. So simple. It's that simple, literally. So I don't like the way when someone say, "Oh, I just gone rogue," because you would think bad about own body. Your body is not that stupid, literally. It's not. It's far wiser, intelligent than what we thought of. And
so it's been tricked or it's been neglected. And
yes, exactly. So it is confused, it is malnourished, it is all this that they don't even have the right material to do their job. That's why they do a job that is dangerous, just like you give a baby like holding a knife.
Wow.
You are not trained to handle
that's
something.
That would explain myocarditis, where the body attacks.
Myocarditis. It's very, in terms of, because of the sensitive of the issues, the tissues sensitivity towards damage, and the T cells and macrophages that invade it to get rid of the spike proteins. They are the one that doing the job that is quite intense. Depends on what kind of cell doing it. Even it depends also. And like I said before, I think previously also, when you involve autoimmunity, that's the worst one. That's one of the worst one. That one, because it builds immunity, means that you have memory. So you have the antibody that recognize that cell. Let's say your muscle cells, your heart muscle cells, some of them, or your parasites. The sac surrounding your heart cell wall. What do you call the sac? Yeah. So there are different antibody mount against it. When this mount against it, it will always produce it towards that. That's why autoimmunity is so important to deal with in the early, because it's a matter of time it develop into more autoimmune disease, and it can develop into more of it because it depends on what has been mounted against it. So this professor Yehuda Schonfeld, if you look it up, he has, I don't know, decades and decades. He wrote like 2,000 journals or whatever. This kind of, they call him a father of autoimmunity. Okay.
Wow. Could you type his name into the? There's a private chat.
Yeah.
Type his name into that, and I'll put it up so people can look it up.
Yeah, I learned a lot early days, even from him, and he mentioned about the things that he mentioned. Actually, I trying to say, but he mentioned it makes it clearer. And he mentioned about this spike protein. He always called COVID, of course. It overstimulates the immune system, and it can cause a condition called autoimmune syndrome induced by adjuvants. It's called ASIA, ASIA. And this is adjuvants, by the way, is a substance that's being added into a medicine or something that injected in the body or put inside the body to expose to immunity. The most common is vaccine. He talks a lot about it as well, to enhance and modulate the body immune response, including prosthetics and also implants, like cosmetic implants, like breast implants and all this. They all has a potential to induce autoimmunity. This is what makes me very curious in the early days, that how does it create autoimmunity even with all these implants and all this? And this virus, even with the spike protein, is potent. He said it's very potent to induce conditions that all tied together, that it can induce cause the body to be susceptible to autoimmune disease. So let me see what he used the words of. Oh, I didn't use. So this is called Asia. So this is the syndrome that is being developed if you have adjuvants, something that triggers the immune response, and then it can cause autoimmunity. So by the way, the spike protein trigger a lot of immune responses, and it releases so much. So common one is antibodies. Like today's patient, I seen one with thyroid problems, hyperthyroidism, and all this. And you will have antibodies of like anti-TPO or anti-TG, what they call thyroglobulin or anti-thyroperoxidase. These are all the enzymes that involved in the thyroid. And if you have this anti stuff that's been detected, means that they are anti against certain things in your body, either your receptor, your tissues, and all this. What does that mean? Means that they are always tagging the organs and tissues for immune mount against them. So you can see
basically making the body into its own assassin.
In a way, because they think that this is something is of threat. Because, like I said, they are not being. You are under stress, under equipped, and you are overdrive. You are burnt out. How do you think a person or soldiers or whatever will perform? Think of that alone. Then you will understand why they do these things. It's not because they want to go rogue just away, because they are not being supported, and they will do a very bad job at doing that, and they easily mistaken identity happens very easily. They call molecular mimicry. And unfortunately, this spike protein looks like many tissues in the organs and everything. Can you put slide 4?
Yep. Okay, well,
slide 4. Yes. This one really shocks me when I first discovered, I think 3 years ago in the early days. Look at this. So you are looking at this is a journal talks about autoimmunity, autoimmune cross-reactivity with spike proteins. So that's why I show you the spike proteins here. Yeah. So they say that the cross-reactivity antibodies with reaction with the tissue antigens. So they've been recorded. These are only few of these. Your thyroid, which is, you see a lot of thyroid issues now. Your gut, the one I explained later, this one. Skin, you see a lot of skin conditions because they do react, the cross-reactivity with that. Your nervous systems, all the brain fog and all this has to do also with that one, on top of other issues as well. Your joints will be arthritis. So you can see that from here, you can name a lot of diseases by just looking at this one alone.
Yeah.
So this is the thing I want to deal with it, because in few more years, you will see all these autoimmune skyrocket. I mean, it's already, it's just that not many people.
So you think it's going to get worse?
Oh, you never see. I think it can be almost everyone if you don't do, because these are autoimmune stuff.
Yes.
That's why I'm so particular in, it's not about just anti-inflammatories and all this. You must really understand how to restore immunity, not just to fight the virus. Now I want to come to another point, is to make sure that they are not depleted. They are not in the Th2 dominance I previously mentioned, which is allergic response, which is a lot of antibodies being developed, immunoglobulins. These are highly tolerant for you to develop a lot, incubate a lot of viruses, pathogens. On top of it, it also allows a lot of these antibodies develop, because these are the B cells that produce all the antibodies as well. So they are linked. You see, now I'm linking the issues from the last time. And this is a problem that is facing everyone, but unfortunately, with women, I'm going to go there, is why women suffer more on long COVID is something that it's a survival thing in the beginning. Okay, with women, you notice that when women get sick in the past, whatever, or they don't, like my mom hardly gets sick at all. They recover very fast.
Yes,
They recover very fast. Men usually, oh, you're down, you're flu, all
I
this a
know.
week or
Man
so.
flu.
Yes, they even have that, and this is advantage for women for this evolution in a way. So
Yes.
the woman has stronger immunity and stronger immune response to mount against in the early phase, which is virus is the most important. Within 3 days, if you don't deal with the virus drop significantly, then you will develop into more symptoms. That's why if your immunity is good, you can abort any virus infection usually within 3 days. And
Wow. Okay.
in my case, this always happened to me. So I realized
Yes.
something not right in my throat. I do something. I make sure my immunity knows that. They deal with it fast, and then it doesn't develop because the virus they don't they I think it's like a there's certain they develop they reproduce very fast after I think 3 days or something. It's in general to virus. So that's why in early time you need to deal with it, just like cold sore. If you don't deal within 72 hours, chances are you experience more of the symptoms later on. That's why we have these anti-cold sore tablets that needs to taken before 72 hours. That's one of the reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
women,
that's really interesting. So, as soon as you feel sick, you should be just
you need to know
attacking
what?
everything.
For me is vitamin C, zinc, simple thing, D and A.
Yeah.
So I'll load up the dose because I know it's short term, like 3 days only. That's fine, even if a higher dose. But after that, I don't have to. But the thing is, I need to abort it fast. So this is one of the strategies you can do if your immunity capacity can handle. I mean, I don't claim everyone. Depends on what level of capacity of immune response are able to mount.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a
So
question here. Just a question for you. This is from Trish Wildfire. Will spike protein keep producing indefinitely? What is the
no
update
one
on
really
that?
knows that. No one really knows that yet. But I think so far the evidence shows that it can be a year plus more.
I think
But
they're still
still
finding some
counting.
in people, aren't they?
Exactly. So you can't really tell, no, because people are still getting the jab. So it can be from from someone getting it. It's not just produced. So how do you tell is you produce one or you're getting from someone? You
Yeah.
can't tell because people are still getting stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I don't
I
want
had
to be
a
so concerned about that. I want to be more on proactive in terms of I taking myself like nattokinase and all this just to reduce the spike protein load. I think this is
yeah.
more wiser approach and less stressful approach because
Yeah.
you know this stuff works. That's why Peter McCullough, he has this what do you call this spike protocol, which using that one as the main one. Yeah.
I have
So
someone who has the skin, a friend who has the skin problems just like that constantly, every few weeks, they just once a week almost, they come back, you know?
yeah, it doesn't just go away if there's an autoimmunity mount against it all the time. So conventional medicine, they will take steroid cream, strong one, use it whenever you want, suppress it, but you don't deal with the antibodies and all this. So it will, I mean, of course, good business because you'll keep getting the creams or ointment all the time, or sometimes serious use injections, what they call the biologics. That one is a very powerful immune suppressor for certain kind of thing. Depends on what kind of this cytokine is causing the problem. There are many in the market now, worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's big
it is
business now.
something you need to deal with the roots. That's why. So if you
Yeah.
don't deal with the roots with the antibody, so we're gonna find out that how to stop or reduce this antibody being produced in the body in the first place. So they will go through that as well. So the next thing I want to tell is very simple. Is because women chromosome and male is different. Can you bring out the slide number 2? This one everyone knows. Women XX chromosome and men XY. So the big difference here, I show you the table, is the immune genes in the women have large numbers, is over 100 of it.
That's
That's why they're
incredible.
so powerful. They mount immune response fast and effective, and they have double X. So you think of it,
Yeah.
double. So 100 plus 100 is 200. Everything has duplicate copy.
This is why flus affect man longer and we become more miserable.
Yes, that
It's
was
not
I always
man flu.
noticing
You
it,
just
but I
don't.
don't know how to explain. Like in our
It's
family,
probably
all our boys.
evolutionary, isn't it? Because we need them to get back to washing the dishes and other things like that.
Not just that, if they don't survive, they cannot. They yes, they cannot. They cannot
Swade's
nurture and give
trying to throw
birth.
something at me.
They need to survive because they need to care for the babies. It's a very even
Yeah.
more important job.
Look,
Imagine we
I've
can't survive
seen this.
easily. Yeah,
I've seen this with mothers. You know, my mother,
remember?
other mothers I've known,
Yeah,
they get better very quickly, or they're sick but they can still work, and it's
that's the
incredible.
thing. Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Because now you know they got they got two copies. The gene,
two
whatever
copies.
man has, they got two copies because they got two double X chromosomes. You
Yeah,
see, it's also scientific. It's also mathematical as well. So you can see
wow.
that now they got
Wow.
example the gene that is important. I learned about we call toll-like receptors. That is like
Yeah,
they like a what they call matching key lock to let the virus to be censored to sense by the immune cells, like the T cells and all this, so that they can mount strong immune response because these are the expert in destroying virus. They have
yeah.
plenty, but in the Y chromosome we only have the immune regulation, but not for the virus sensing part. So they're double copies of the main one. Now you know why it can mount stronger immune response.
Mm.
At the same time, this also causes a problem. Because what happens if you overdo?
You get overwhelmed or you get exhausted.
You get yes, and then also you can damage the surrounding tissues if
Oh,
it's not being carefully supported. Like the fire is out of control, right?
yes,
Powerful
yes.
fire can destroy enemies, but if you regulate it, control it, that's fine. But if you are malnourished, you are understrung, very stressful, prolonged, then it can become your enemy now. So
Okay.
it will start to burn the whole thing down. So high risk
Yes,
of
I
autoimmune
understand.
disease.
Yeah.
So there are two ways of it. You need to understand. This one is very beautiful. Once you understand, then you will really appreciate who you really are. And then that's why men, they don't have so much of they don't have so much of autoimmune problems. Most of the autoimmune disease are women's dominated.
Oh, wow. I'm
You
saying,
take
wow.
notice. You take
I'm just
notice.
staggered. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yes. That's when I learned from this professor in the early days. I said, well, that's not fair in a way. They're so strong in dealing with it. But later I found out that autoimmune also very strong if you don't look after that. These powerful
Mm.
engines. You know, you get powerful engines, let's say with double engines, double performance, it can run you out of the tree. Is this fast? Yes. But if you don't know how to control,
Mm.
it can happen. So that's
That's
why in
incredible.
this context, it's even more important to deal with the antibodies. Later, I'll explain why.
Yeah, okay.
So there's a reason why today I focus on this autoimmunity because of this reason. Because long COVID majority affect women. I'll explain more as well. In terms of and when that happens, I think 79% or 70 something percent based on survey. And if they have it also, they tend to have brain fog that's worse and then neurological issues as well. That one will explain brain fog, all these are the next one. But I
Okay.
just give you a big picture. What
Yeah.
men, when they experience it, based on my previous reading also, is they don't have so much of brain for all this in that pronounced, but they do have more severe damage to their organs. Now you see
Okay.
young adolescents or young men or even teenagers have a lot of heart issues. Because the reason why, because of autoimmune again, autoimmune problems that deal with all the brain for all this, and then also the nervous system and all this neuropsychiatry problems. But men is because of the persistent the virus, because they can't clear it properly, this virus direct or the spike protein direct causing damage. So the damage can be more pronounced.
Yeah.
And you don't have and then you don't have double copies of the X. What if your X has been damaged, one of the genes, this and that? No backup.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So men, if you're a man, you want to really understand about building a strong immunity. Women, not so much so, but regulating. You see, they are different again. So I'm differentiating it. And there are nutrients that do different things for that. So this alone is so amazing. And the other one is women have what? Estrogen. Of course, they have to link with hormonal as well. Yeah. So the
Yes.
estrogen actually it's potent to mount immune response early stage as well, and then also is anti-inflammatories as well. That's
Okay.
why with long COVID, you ask some those with long COVID, they tend to have worse long COVID fatigue. Was it when before their premenstrual syndrome?
And
Because
menopause
because the estrogen level is low.
change all this?
Sorry.
Does menopause have an effect on all of this?
If that's why doctors that's why I realized even my pharmacy when I read this, they are also writing scripts for estrogen more. We use estrogen pump, estrogen this, estrogen that, just to help them with some estrogen, so that one is the symptoms of low in estrogen hormones, but we're talking more about the tiredness and all this. Some studies suggest that long COVID fatigue can be helped with estrogen, because if you're too low, it also can affect as well. So you can see, and this on top of it, this estrogen also can improve your immunity as well. So you got double benefits for immunity. But same thing again, if it's overdrive and not being regulated, that's why autoimmunity is causing problem. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. I certainly
Wow.
didn't know that about the difference between men and women. It's now that makes a lot of sense, because you always feel like you're a sook as a man, because you're thinking, how can they be up and doing it and I
Yeah.
can't get out of bed? I feel like I've been hit by a truck. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I can't understand my mom wake up 4 o'clock to do stuff.
And then
Or
they sit there going, oh, he's got man flu. I'm okay. I'm up. I didn't go to sleep. Well, get out of bed, do something. You're like,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
They recover faster. In general, even they recover faster. Like you say, that if it doesn't bother, that means that they only have some of the symptoms, but their body functioning and all this energy is producing well, because the immunity is keeping all the virus in checks. But when you have virus, that is you crash. You hear this a lot, the terms, like you're so sick that you literally crash. That is
Yeah,
when your immune system is going like needs a lot of support. And most people don't do that. You see, if you take vitamin C, also sometimes take the 500 milligrams. It's not enough. I take sometimes 2 to 4 grams.
wow.
Because just for mounting and stronger immune response, just to prevent it from getting worse in the first 3 days.
And do you
That
monitor
is
the
very
vitamin
significant.
C by, if you start to get loose bowels or something, you stop?
Yeah, vitamin C, yes. And this is one way to experiment. If you take vitamin C on empty stomach, because the glucose actually compete with vitamin C for absorption, so you can skew the information. But if you have vitamin C and then you take it until you have loose bowel, like 1,000 milligram every 4 hours, until you lose bowel, then you know what level of vitamin C your body really needs. I did
Okay.
my one, it's about 3 to 4 grams. So it's pretty general people like this. Some people are quite sick, they need up to 4, 5, 6 grams of vitamin C. Then you know that your body is still not being fully helping replenish with vitamin C. I take about 2 grams at least of vitamin C a day, if not 4.
2 grams a day.
Yeah.
Wow. Stop saying wow.
It's very simple to do it. It's just that
Yes.
people don't understand the benefits of it. And
Yeah.
yeah. And
Do
yeah,
you
you
think
see
it's
a lot of
remarkable
people
that the
using.
body doesn't produce vitamin C? We need it.
Yes, we are the humans that have one shot of enzyme to make the glucose into vitamin C. Other animals like guinea pigs and all these mouse, they can make vitamin C with glucose. That's so
Okay.
unfair.
Yeah, that is
But
unfair.
that's a reality. We are short of one changes in the genes that allows it to enzyme to make in the vitamin C, so it can handle. Because you see,
Okay.
even in goats and sheep, they can build up to like, I know, 9 grams or 19 grams, whatever. When they're under stress, they build a lot of vitamin C. That's why goats are very resilient.
I just got a question here for a statement from Ben Clifton, and I agree with you, Ben. He reckons Lee should get a Nobel Prize for proving that man flu is a real thing.
It's science
Suffer in
and
silence,
it's
we do.
mathematical as well, because you don't have double X chromosome. Yeah. So there are things that you cannot change. You see, you can identify, but this part, the biology will get you. So
Yeah, it's
so
amazing.
yes. And I want to add, before I forget, this professor also mentioned something I've been mentioning before as well. He said that there is a term he likes to coin called infectome. It's an idea that they mentioned about, in functional medicine, we understand that the kind of situation is the sum of all infection a person ever experienced in a lifetime will build a kind of accumulation that will put you whether you are more vulnerable to autoimmune or not, because
Right.
of those infections that are accumulative. So this one also, I think I mentioned before as well. What happens in the past, all this affects your immunity. So how you deal with your immunity as well. And this infectome is also this accumulation of people's experience in past infections or exposed to stuff that affect the immunity, gives this spike protein like a powerful final straw, he says, or second hit that primes, that's the word I use, primes the state of chronic activation and dysregulation. That's what I just mentioned last time. So he did mention about this, and it creates a new baseline, so that your body is constantly on alert, on active, and all this that needs to be dealt with. And this autoimmune part in terms of women plays a big role in that, because many of those women, when they develop autoimmune disease, by the time it's already clinical symptom pops out, it's already very high level of antibodies. But if you know how to deal with what we're going to talk about today to reduce the chances of these autoantibodies develop, then because I tell this professor mentioned about autoimmune disease takes about a decade or so to develop. It doesn't develop overnight. Remember, autoimmune disease, we always say that, it takes some time, this and that. Now you can see that when was the last time we started to have COVID? Until now, how many autoimmune diseases pop up? And he did mention about it can accelerate because of this infectome and the potency of these spike proteins. It can accelerate this autoimmune.
Yeah.
So now you can see why it's important to deal with the autoimmune problems. It's called rapid autoimmunity.
So dealing with the autoimmune is basically step one. That's what you've got to get in,
especially women. Yes.
Handle on for, especially women.
Because of what we
get a
just
handle on
discussed.
is your immunity. Yeah.
Yes. Because this part you have to have understanding before you do something more about it, and hopefully you can measure some of the stuff we're talking about as well. So let me see, and let me read. 79% of long COVID cases are women with more of the self-attacking antibodies. You see. So what they detected is, one of it is called GPCR antibodies that disrupt nervous systems. This is a G protein couple receptors. Again, things that affect receptors are powerful because receptors is a way how your body functions. You need to take in the receptors to produce certain functions. And if this is found in a lot of nervous system that's important for functions, then you will disrupt the nervous system. That's why that's why with that they can also put the causation of exhaustion, brain fog, and poor energy and regulations, and autoantibodies. And then the other one is autoantibodies against ANA. If you look it up, some people autoimmune disease they will heard a lot about. If you look it up, SLE, they'll talk about ANA antibodies, anti-nuclear antibodies. Even antibody attack your nucleus in your cell. This is damaging. That's why this kind of markers for systemic autoimmunity, it's a classical marker for SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, which is a lupus. And that one, I know about it, but I didn't know that the spike protein can cause that. See?
My God.
So if I don't know whether you are maybe family history and all this. If you know, then you can measure all these antibodies and you can pick it up early before it develops autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease usually develop is when you have certain level of these antibodies produce enough damage until clinical symptoms start to appear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can see that
So
these
lupus is
are
a chronic
documented.
autoimmune disease. So lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease. I've just Googled it, that attacks healthy tissue.
Exactly.
Okay.
And why? One of it is because of these antibodies attacking your nucleus.
Yeah. So
So
the immune system just can't figure out what's a virus or what's an enemy and what's a foe, and what's a friend.
they need to be very skillful to do that. The problem is, and I can say the spike protein is so much, I have to say, engineered, because like you just showed the slide. There are so many. It's like a master key of everything. It has fit so many locks of so many tissues that
So that's it. So
it's
these things
easily
here at the top.
mistaken. You can see that. How can it be so many reactivity just one spike protein?
Yeah.
Nature doesn't do that.
No.
And
So all
this
these
is
different
a
spike
genius of
proteins.
engineering.
Can I just clarify? All these different spike proteins here, the red, the yellow, the blue. I'm not saying they're that color, but they're all different spike proteins basically designed to attack the skin.
Oh, they're the same
nervous
spike proteins.
system. The
One
same.
spike protein can have so many different interactions possible.
So usually you have a virus that only attacks one particular part of the body, where this spike protein goes everywhere.
Few, yeah, if not be few or something like this. But this one is like almost every organ, you name it.
God.
So now you understand why autoimmune is such a problem.
Yeah.
You will watch, you remember this video I say, you watch. Because it's already happening. It's just that once I understand the mechanism and the risk of it, even the father autoimmunity is mentioned about it. Huh?
Is this what they mean by VAIDS vaccine?
Whatever you want to name is just a name, but it's just important is deal with it and remove that potential at all.
Yeah, okay.
See? So the antibodies are the one that you don't want to like have some kind of injections to neutralize antibodies, all this, which is very expensive and all this stuff. But it's even better if you can you restore the immunity and then remove the potential for it to produce antibody itself. So we will look into more of it as well as we go.
That's right, Stefan.
Yeah, the IgG4 is a big thing as well, because it will cause the immunity to be so tolerant to every kind of virus or anything, including spike proteins, so they can create havoc even more because you're not dealing with
I was with Stefan here in the comments last night. He used to be a nurse, he and his wife. And so we were talking about how many people are sick. So many people are sick, and this is why their immune systems have been devastated.
Yeah, and it's still understatement. I still say it's actually, if you go deeper, the technical stuff is even more devastating. I just don't have the ability to go that deep yet. But this is quite unique in terms of the way I explain. You see. And this is why we want to, especially the women part, is this autoimmune thing is in the background doing stuff all the time. And the same process when you restore immunity, you also need to do something about the autoimmunity as well. Yeah. So now we're going to talk about, did I finish what is the 2A again? Oh, did I share the 2A? Let's see again. So I can explain something more here. Okay, here there's another one. This is a woman immune response driven by estrogen, I mentioned before.
Yes.
Man immune response driven by testosterone. Imagine that. And you know what the spike protein has done to people's testosterone? They make the testosterone rock bottom. That one I haven't talked about it as well. We dispense a lot of testosterone stuff as well.
So testosterone is basically the driving force of our immune system.
Yes, for men.
Yes, I get it.
For women, it's the estrogen, you see? Now you see why it's important. And the one for women is strong early response and highly inflammatory. That's why it's very effective. But when you say highly inflammatory, it can be double power, double H9. It can burn as well, too much. So the weaker
Yeah.
initial response is the one that man's one does not have strong early response unless you intelligently manipulate it, which through nutrition,
Okay.
all this you can when you understand. That's why what I do, because I understand about this part. And then with longer term risk is chronic dysregulated because of the overdrive. With the men's is low risk of autoimmune, but more higher risk of persistent viral persistence. You see the difference? One is the you have the fire, but not so much of the enemies. But the other one is you don't have so much fire, but you see enemies everywhere because you're not dealing with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
So
getting
that's
to
why they are
see.
more likely to experience neurological issues with women, brain fog, all this will go more next time. And then the men's one is more severe organ damage. That's what you see in all these kids with myocarditis and all this stuff as well.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
They are mostly are boys, notice that. Notice
Yes.
are
And
boys.
they must have known this because they said early on that it affects young men. So they knew.
Yeah, they know. I tell you, if you are scientists, you develop this stuff. If you don't know, means your education is not sufficient.
Yes.
It's not something you need to discover. It's well-known scientific science, all these details. It's not something really special. We know about mRNA, we know about lipid nanoparticles quite a number of years ago. In fact, I think the early days when I look at the studies, they have information up to 2016.
I've heard that too. They've
It's
had it
not
for a
it's not
while,
new
but
at
they
all.
couldn't
It's
make
not
it
new at
work.
all.
No.
Exactly. The new thing is how they crafted it, engineered it to be so devastating in terms of the autoimmune parts. I think that part they need to really craft it because it's like you won't discover, you won't pay attention if you don't know this mechanism and all this, and then you will just blame on whatever things. It's a perfect smoke, what do you call smoke screen or something for people not to look at it. Yeah, myocarditis, whatever, okay, very rare, okay, deal with it, that's it. But the big one coming is all these autoimmunes. It keeps just disintegrating people from the inside out, I can say that way.
Ugh.
That's the one that I think that's a better explain because it's literally attacking your own body all the time, right? And then you take
Yeah.
medicine to suppress the symptoms temporary, but your medicine, whatever can wears off. When wears off, it comes back again.
So you're not actually fixing the problem. You're not actually rebuilding
Exactly. This is what I see a lot. That you're not
your
fixing the
immune system.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So they're
now
almost creating a class of people that are customers for life to big pharma because their immune system is so crap.
if you look at other than the weight loss stuff, one of the big bucks that companies are making are all the autoimmune conditions, biologics they call, like these things that have antibodies, immunoglobulins, all sorts of stuff to deal with autoimmunity. Autoimmune disease, you Google, look it up. It's a big business. I think it's gonna be probably bigger than the vaccine or whatever as it goes, because this thing is accumulative.
Yes.
And it's lifelong customer, because if not, the autoimmunity, if it's severe, can kill you in some cases, like lupus. As you go, if you don't manage it, it can destroy your, damage your kidneys.
So
Up to
lupus goes for does it go for the kidneys first?
It can. I can't remember. They are strong association with kidney damage and all this. So it doesn't affect one just specific one thing. You need to imagine. And the particles that continuously causing the problem, it's still there if you don't deal with it. There's another spike protein issues. So you need to understand that the picture there. So okay. I think this is bringing the picture there. Let me see, where am I? So we talk about, now we're going to probably just go to gut immune and all this, then we can go to the solution. So we know about our gut health. Most people understand about gut health, they eat well, all this gut health, yeah. But we need to understand that the spike protein itself can cause leaky gut. Can you bring up the slide of slide 3?
Yes.
So this has been shown, and I think in the last slide or previously, this has been shown in one of the severe symptoms previously with COVID with children, called MISC.
Okay.
Something multi-inflammatory syndrome, very bad kind of syndrome that can kill the child. And it happens to children because they are more vulnerable to it. And then this COVID itself, virus, can cause that. And they cause that mainly by opening up the tight junction in your gut, like this picture shows, and allows the
see.
spike protein to recirculate. And in a small bodies, this concentration of spike protein that keep replicating and doesn't get rid of it, if your body immune, which is child, is not as strong yet, then some of the susceptible one, you can get very high load of virus in the body. That's how it causes multi-organ failures. If you look it up, it's a very scary condition. No one wants to see any children.
I know of 2 men,
MISC.
both vaccinated, who have leaky gut.
Yeah.
And they were both.
And it can be
found that
tests as well. Yeah. It can be
they
tests
had
as well.
they're both vaccinated, and they just felt really terrible, and they went in and they had leaky gut. Yeah.
So you can see that the spike protein can cause it. Because of that study, this picture shows is the study they did on these children. They proved that once you use a medication, I can't remember the name, they can close the tight junction, the leaky gut, by force using medication. Then the child's symptom improves significantly and they can come out of ICU. It is that potent. They measure by days or something. It's very quick because they know, they want to prove a point, prove the concept that this is the one that's causing the problem. So they use a known molecule to close the tight junction of the leaky gut so that the virus cannot recirculate in the system, replicate, or go into blood vessels, blood circulations. So this is one of the picture I got it from, is the spike protein can cause leaky gut. First thing you need to know. Yeah. And then the second thing most people know is the gluten can cause leaky gut also.
Gluten. Yes. Oh, yes, I've heard of that. That's why people want to go gluten-free. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at Alesso Fasano,
apparently.
Yeah, if you look at Alesso Fasano, he is the father, I can say, of a gluten, because he's the one that in the early days that explained that it's not because you're superhuman, whatever. You eat gluten, you will have leaky gut. But the difference is leaky gut for 20 minutes or leaky gut for 2 hours or 4 hours. It depends. So he said, you need to understand that everyone eats gluten, you will have tight junctions being leaked temporary. The question is how long? So he gave an example that if you have someone eating McDonald's and then they tested the blood, they got interleukin-6 and all this, the measurement of inflammation, they say that you can have leaky gut there for hours. This is starting to produce more risk. The reason, because when you have leaky gut means that the tight junctions open. What happens is anything that is in the GI tract, including your unfinished digestions of your food or virus or whatever, it can leak in the bloodstream. That concept is very important. So when you have that leak, even if you have partially digested food like broccoli, like spinach, even like any other proteins, it will leak in the bloodstream, which is not being absorbed, it's leaked into blood. It's different. You can't have broccoli particles in your blood, can you?
No,
it's not normal. It is not normal. Now, because you have that problem, now your body needs to mount an immune response against it because it's a foreign particle never seen before. Probably it's some kind of virus. Because you never encountered broccoli in your blood. Think of that. And this is why, even during my early days when I deal with patients with autoimmune, all this, food allergies and all this, they have people allergic to broccoli. Have you heard of it?
Broccoli?
Yes. That was my curiosity. Say, why is someone allergic to broccoli? It's actually literally anything. When you are immune, that is being primed for autoimmune problems, which is that time you're dysregulated, you're immune and depleted. That's when any of the food particles pass through in your bloodstream, they leak. That's the one causing problem.
I see.
You can see why. This is why one of the reason I believe is also, I mean, like not directly this reason, but just in my mind, that why do people have peanut allergies? Because
Yeah, I've heard
early
of that.
days, I don't know now, but early days, the vaccine has peanut oil in it. What's in do
Okay.
business, and it got. I think people can look at all the ingredients is all in there. You have egg albumin, one of the ingredients in I think flu jabs or whatever. But I don't know now the formulation. This is when I was first learning about leaky
Yes.
gut and all this. I dig into all these autoimmune problems, and these are all the documented ones. And you can see now the leaky gut is not as simple as just closing the leaky. It has now you have more problem because the spike protein, if you're not dealing with it, it's adding on to the leaky gut issues. Now you can see why so many autoimmune, the virus, the particle, what you call the spike protein can already trigger so many cross-reactivity. Imagine you got food going inside. And in particularly proteins particles, we call amino acids partially digested or polypeptides or peptides, which is a partial amino acids that's not fully broken down. Imagine leak in the system. It can look like a pancreas tissue because they are proteins, building blocks, Lego building blocks or whatever. Some of the building blocks, they are similar. The same concept. So if you have, that's why in particular is if it's protein particles that leak into your bloodstream, this is the one that's shown the most likely to cause immune response. What is gluten? It's a kind of proteins.
Mm.
The gliadin especially. And this is the one that causing it has been shown in terms of certain autoimmune disease, it can cause molecular mimicry. And particularly with thyroid, even by
Molecular
gluten
what?
itself.
Mimicry.
Molecular mimicry means that, like I say, the protein particles, the gluten, the parts of the gluten, gliadin, it looks like the thyroid tissues. That's why when your immune is not being fully maintained, it can mount a wrong immune response and build a memory against your tissue cells. Like anti-TPO enzyme, this is against your enzyme. Anti-thyroglobulin is against your thyroglobulin. So there are different parts of it will anti against. And when it anti against means that it mounts immune response constantly as long as there's a trigger there. Either the gluten is causing it, and gluten is one of the main one. And that's why gluten, we're going to talk more about it as well. And then another one that is not many people know is your milk protein. I think that's why your A2 milk is very popular. A2 milk is very specifically, uniquely Australia. A2 milk, because of the breed, I think Guernsey or I can't remember the name. There's another one. Those doing those that farm milk, they will know. And this has to do with the protein.
I don't drink it, but I've seen it for sale.
This has to do with the milk protein. They call casein. And even in my pharmacy days, when you have children that are very snotty, they're very snotty, allergic response all the time. If you give the normal cow's milk, you see that they get a lot of allergic reactions.
Yes.
And then in our courses, we learn that the A2 type of milk has less allergenic. And now I know why. This casein, actually, there's two types of casein. Beta casein. It's called A1 beta casein or A2 beta casein. Traditional cow's milk have mostly, if not all, of A1 casein, beta casein. But the A2, the breed that's produced A2 beta casein, is the one that has the uniquely, I think more than 80%, whatever, very highly concentrated of A2 beta casein. And their breed, the genetic breed must be maintained. If not, they can be contaminated. That's why it's a big thing with that one. And the level of the casein actually is being broken down when being digested into called BCM, beta casomorphin 7. If you look it up, it's if you digest the A1 beta casein, you got far more levels of the BCM7 there. This is one of the molecules that has molecular mimicry effect on your body tissues. It causes autoimmune. Example is, and then the A2, by the way, is the one that far lesser beta casomorphin, BCM7, if you look it up. So with the A1, there is previously I learned about autoimmunity in this is because this I know about this A1 beta casein. Between age 1 or 2 from young, the study shows you don't want to encourage drinking cow's milk because of this issue of beta BCM7. They didn't mention BCM7. They say that based on study, it's highly linked, associated with type 1 diabetes. Have you heard of it?
Yeah. I haven't
Very
heard
young
of the link.
children, very young children drinks cow's milk predominantly. They can increase the risk of type 1 diabetes, even in Scandinavia. I can't remember the European countries. They've done studies on it.
Oh,
And
okay, that's really
yes,
interesting.
it's autoimmune issues as well. Like I said, based on the concept of molecular mimicry. So somehow this either is a BCM7. They didn't say what exactly causing it, but one of it they know that it has molecular mimicry effect is a BCM7 that can leak into the body and can, if you contact with the pancreatic cell, beta cell particularly, it can cause immunity to mount against it, antibodies. That's what the type 1 diabetes is all about, is autoimmune attacks on your beta cells that produce insulin. So if you cannot produce insulin at all, that's type 1 diabetes. Or
Yes, that's
usually it
correct.
cannot, because it's a progressively destruction of beta cells. Without insulin, you cannot live. This is different from type 2, which is a lifestyle related, mostly in the
Yes,
beginning.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see how important even the proteins can lead to autoimmunity, even younger children as well.
Yeah, I've met a lot of young teenagers now who are type 1 diabetes. Lots of them.
Maybe because
Maybe.
they are associated with it based on studies. Even I
Yeah.
think Northern Europe, Scandinavian, or can't remember exactly which country.
Yeah.
And they drink a lot of milk. These countries, by the way, so their chances are maybe high. But I think Australia also, some people drink lots of milk.
I
Yeah.
drink lots of milk.
But
Yeah.
the context is, remember, is to a certain people pre-genetic predisposition, and most likely is involving probably some kind of leaky gut or some kind of a diet, because your diet affects, like I say, everyone has leaky gut issues when you deal with gluten. It is known, it is predictable. The question is for how long. If you have McDonald's, all this, your inflammation condition in your gut will prolong the leakiness. That's a big difference. Either 20 minutes or less, something like this, usually healthy one deals with it. The rest of it, because this is about the time you digestion of food, right? It's about 2 hours you digest food. So to be fine. But some people prolong until after finish digesting, 4 hours still there. Means that everything is leaked into it, kind of, potentially. And that's how you see some people have multiple autoimmune problems.
There's someone here, Trish Wildfire, has been drinking dandelion leaf tea daily to try to protect my cells. There are studies into it protecting the ACE2 receptors. I've been drinking that too, Trish.
That'll be interesting if you know how to protect.
Kelly's got me addicted to it. I love it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, I've even stopped drinking coffee. Now I drink dandelion tea. I sound like an old hippie.
Is it?
My dandelion tea and my tie-dye and my bells. And my beads. Yeah, I love beads. I'm just an old hippie now drinking dandelion tea. But I've got addicted to it. Yeah.
As long as you're healthy, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we want to talk about more practical stuff. Now we understand about the gluten, the dairy. That's the reason why when you do elimination diet, the purpose of elimination diet is to find out, first thing is to let your gut heal. To whatever degree, these two, especially gluten, if you can remove it, your gut will heal because you put less stress to keep opening at tight junctions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have this being your gut heal, give a time, and then you also prime your body immune alertness to not over alert because of these things that leak into your gut on top of spike protein already there, you will provide a better environment conducive for healing. That's the concept of your elimination diet. Yeah, and if you look it up, the most general one you can see is removing the big fours. The big four, nothing very complicated. Gluten, including the one in the labels as well. You want to see, understand all this, and the dairy. dairy, because of the proteins that is hard to digest, also put stress on the immune. Your immune more likely to mount and respond towards these milk proteins as well. It's just because they have also strong ability to molecular mimicry with quite a lot of tissues as well. So this is more natural thing. So the sugar, most people know, is a fire that keeps on inflammation going on. And simple thing you can substitute and reduce, and seed oils, the omega-6 in particularly. So omega-6 are the fatty acids that produce the inflammation molecules that mount immune response. Important to mount immune response when you contain the virus and all this, and to deal with the virus. So in general, Western diet, you will have omega-6 ratio to omega-3. It's about 16:1 ratio. It's way more seed oil. That's why they are an inflammation state all the time.
Yes.
So if you understand that, you want to counter with more of the high dose EPA plus DHA fish oil. If you can't really remove it straight away,
So
it's
fish
one
oil.
of the strategy. Fish oil is EPA plus DHA. It's anti-inflammatories. The omega-6 is inflammatories. And then if it's in the oil form, of course, cooking oil, all this, you consume more of it, even in processed food, then you will have more of this oil that cause inflammation going on, especially the interleukin-6 I mentioned previously. Sorry. The interleukin-6, that is the one that is the main driver for inflammation, if you look it up. The spike protein also trigger release inflammation, interleukin-6 cytokines in the body that cause all this cytokine storm and all this. So these are very simple concept that once you understand it, you can do the elimination diet quite easily. Usually it takes about 3 to 4 weeks. I like to push more towards 4 weeks when you want to remove this stuff, because it takes a lot of effort, and probably 1 or 2 weeks it might take you to adjust to the new life. So you might not able to fully eliminate yet, because you want to do the countdown of 3 to 4 weeks after you eliminate it, the best way. And then you want to write down what are the symptoms, what are the how you feel before, and then later you can measure against it. And during that time, I mean most people know about gluten stuff, wheat products, rye, barley,
Well, we've
spelt.
heard that they've changed the gluten. They've changed it so that it cooks, I think, either faster or stays together.
Because it's less fermented.
Yeah, something like that.
Olden days, when you make bread, how long?
Oh, ages.
Yes, that's when it ferments, so it lesser the gluten level when it digests down, in a way, by the microbes. But nowadays, how long we make the bread?
Oh, it's
instant,
really
kind of
quick,
instant bread. Yes. So that's a big difference. I think there's a difference there. But regardless, it's all down to the gluten. You need to know. It's the gliadin, even more specific if you want to say. The gluten, when it's broken down, the gliadin is the one shown to most likely to trigger these kind of autoimmune problems. And you can look it up. I think you do some readings about gluten stuff. And as much as you can do, every single one you do, it will benefits, because it will slow down the opening of the tight junctions between your intestinal cell. And the dairy.
Do you remember when bread makers were all the rage? Everyone had to make their own bread.
Leave it overnight
with these small hard bricks.
My dad still have that one. Yeah, it takes the whole night, isn't it? Yeah, and then the whole morning smells like fresh bakery. I always remember that. Yeah, you can still get it. In fact, I think it's just that.
Sourdough bread is different, isn't it?
Yeah, sourdough bread has been reduced down. But look it up though. How much gluten does it break down? I mean, chances are it breaks down more, obviously, because it's been fermented by the yeast. Right. Yeah. So that's why getting more popular, so people have sourdough bread as well, because being broken down because of the fermentation process. Yeah. So the dairy, you in the beginning, I think also you want to avoid, because of the reason I say, if you still have any sign of leaky gut, then the proteins of the milk also can cause problem as well. And then some people say that, I don't know, one casomorphin, the one mentioned from the milk when being partially digested. If you go down to your brain, you can feel a little bit drowsy, kind of sleepy. That's why milk makes you sleepy. But I do not know whether it's true or not. I haven't looked at one. Just coming my
No,
thoughts.
it's never made me sleepy.
Yeah.
No.
No, right. I don't
No,
know
I
this
think
thing
I
because
should-
it's
I
a
should-
casomorphin. It's a kind of morphine molecule structure, but
Hmm.
I haven't looked into that one deeper yet. But this dairy and then sugar, most people know refined sugar, high fructose corn syrup is not like sugar is glucose and fructose, right? They're two monomer. We call the monosaccharides that they combine
Okay.
becomes sugar, sucrose. And then the high fructose corn syrup is full of this fructose, which is a fruit sugar.
Yes.
They might not consider as sugar in terms of the name, but they are also create a lot of inflammation. They doesn't raise your blood sugar though, because it is not the glucose. Glucose is the one raise your blood sugar, but high fructose corn syrup doesn't. So it can be misleading, you see. But
Yeah,
high
it is.
fructose corn syrup, it causes, because of the fructose, your body liver limits the breakdown of the fructose with limitations. So if you excess, they will turn into fat straight away. That's why if you drink soft drinks with high fructose corn syrup, you gain weight in your liver very fast. You got fatty liver
Okay.
very fast.
Okay.
That's
so
why I
soft
don't drink soft drink, because I
Yeah.
don't want to have high fructose corn syrup at all, because it's a concentration of fructose. If you have sugar, it's sucrose and no, it's fructose and glucose. You have both
Yep.
of it. So the glucose can use by your brain and everything. Fructose cannot use by any of the cell. It needs to be converted by your liver, and it puts stress on your liver. So this is something that you need aware. And of course, the sweeteners is just to prevent you from eating too much, because sweeteners also, although doesn't affect your blood sugar, all this, sometimes it can still affect your craving and all this.
What
So
about
I want to
honey?
understand about it. Honey, I do think honey. Honey is still sweet. It does
Yeah.
have sugar, of course, and fructose and all this, because it comes from plants.
Yes.
They produce, just like fruits come from plants. So we are doing this in terms of the rationale of it. If you need to do, gluten is still the most important,
Hmm.
right? We just explain why. And then the dairy will be the second one. And then the sugar and the seed oil, they are all, these two, sugar and seed oil in more particularly are
Yeah,
inflammation
the
issues.
seed
they
oils
cause.
are the killer now. We've actually
Yeah, and they are
started.
more concentrated.
We cook a lot of our own food, not all of it, but a lot of it, and we're using lard now. We've gone back to what my mother used, lard, and if we can, we use ghee.
It tastes so nice.
It's so much tastier. Oh my God, it's delicious.
Exactly.
I know. it's
McDonald's used beef tallow to do their fries in the olden days, by the way.
Yes,
That's why
that's
they're so
correct.
tasty. That was
Yeah,
a history I found out. Wow.
yeah, I
That's
do remember.
why they don't have
Fish and
other
chip stores
issues.
used to use lard. Now
Or tallow.
the chips don't
Yeah.
taste as nice as when we were kids. You get fish and chips when we were kids; they were delicious, and
Because
I
of the
think that's
lard.
because they were cooking in lard. You know.
Yeah. It's the sugar issues. It's not
Yeah.
it's not the fat in general, I want to say. But there might be other topics or other days to talk about. But it's still far better. That's why keto
Yeah,
works so
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Keto diet.
What's that?
I tried ketogenic diet.
How'd you go?
I tried with myself before just to test my blood and everything. And the doctor said, "Oh, your cholesterol is high." I say, "What cholesterol? The combined cholesterol, the LDL." I'm not concerned. My HDL, oh, good. Oh, it is good. Okay, that's fine. My triglyceride, oh, it's not high. Okay, good. See, you know how to measure what matters. Means that
Yes.
the inflammation is not high. If your triglyceride are high, your HDL high means that you have the small dense LDL type B, that is dense one that is causing inflammation. The type 1 fluffy LDL type A, it is because of eat meat products that have that kind of stuff, and it's fluffy.
Wow.
So you can
Well,
see
Sue
why
says
the difference.
Sue says here the nicest ghee or fat is duck fat. I don't know
Oh
if I've ever
yeah,
used duck fat.
duck fat is very nice. That's why your Peking duck is so delicious. Peking duck,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it's because of the duck fat. Yeah, yeah. Now back to the healthy stuff I mentioned.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
elimination diet. So proteins, of course, get your proteins if possible. get from the source that is healthy animals. You can say it that way. I think you understand what it means. And but it's more important is to have sufficient protein, not the excess. You know, the red meats and all this. They talk about high. It's not beneficial. It's because of excess. It's because of excess, and they encourage the bacteria to grow, the process these amino acids called TMAO, all this that increase risk of carcinogenic and all this. But they're all relative terms. You need to understand. That's why it's not always the case.
Everyone's mad about duck fat. I'm sorry, but I'm watching everyone in the thing. Everyone got stuck on duck fat.
Everyone should try it and see.
Yeah.
Veggie and fruit. I would say that if you're talking about reducing your sugar, you be careful more on your fruits because many people like very sweet fruits, I know. And it still can raise a lot of sugar from there.
Yes.
And cause inflammation and all this, which is not ideal in the beginning when doing elimination diet, all right? So
I've heard that
would
about
say
juices. If you have lots of fruit juices concentrated, it's actually bad for you. I'm just getting
because
telling
no fiber.
these now. Let's see if they. So we've got these little bee-free badges now. We're making them ourselves now. We've got our badge makers. So they're going to be for sale cheaper on the website as of tomorrow. Got them here.
Wow.
Bee-frees. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because of the fiber. That's why you eat the whole fruit of orange is better than drinking the orange juice because orange juice destroy all the fiber. You get all the fruit sugar into a system straight away. In the sense of taking sugar is no different from drinking a Coke that's full of sugar. In terms of sugar wise, because orange juice has a lot of sugar.
Yes,
fruit sugar. That's why it's so sweet. It's so nice.
Yes.
So if you want, eat the whole fruit to have the fibers including in it. But if you're doing elimination diet, you want to have a break of too sweet stuff. That's why you need to taper down kind of thing, work towards that. And having protein first in your meal can give early signal of satiety. I think within 20 minutes or so. You take about 20 minutes to feel satiety with proteins. But carbs actually don't have the signal. Carbs needs to fill up until it distends. Then by pressure of the stomach, it fills it. That's why you can load a lot of carbs. But you cannot load a lot of proteins. That's why Atkins diet in the previously worked so well because you don't eat a lot.
Yes. I know that I was on the carnivore diet for a long time and you'd have a steak in the morning and then you'd feel full. You'd feel full all day. It's incredible, you know?
Yeah. If your body can handle, then only you do. But I would still say that it's important to have fibers. Because if not, then the carnivore diet.
We balanced it out now. Now it's a balance and vegetables and stuff like this and moderation, really. You know.
Yeah. If you are not genetically in a cultural sense that have this genetic makeup to deal with all these carnivores, too much of the carnivores. That's when you have too much of the TMAO and all this stuff that increase risk of cancer. So it's all relative terms, you see.
Yeah, I've heard.
It's because of the gut bacteria. Your gut bacteria is the one digesting the proteins, what they call the red meat particularly, to produce this TMAO. High level, I think it's carnitine, if I'm mistaken. Yeah. So you need to understand that so you know what is the one that is more beneficial for your kind. So I'm not saying that, people like Eskimo, people like in Eskimo, they can handle a lot of proteins and all the fat because of their genetic makeup. But we are not. So if you are not, then you do it. Then
seal, whale blubber, stuff like this.
Yeah, they eat blubber, literally.
Yes.
That's why they can survive for very long with all this fat. Yeah. And then easy, if you really want to do fruit juice.
To be honest.
If
I've
you want
never
to
had
do
blubber though. Maybe it's
fruit
delicious.
Juice and all this, if you need to do, you want to balance what I do is I mentioned you want to have a fruits that is non-tropical fruits, not too sweet. Tropical fruits are pineapple, bananas, all these are very sweet, mangoes especially. They're very good taste, very sweet. But if you're doing this, I would suggest maybe you do berries, berries are high in antioxidants called anthocyanins, and
Yeah, I've
then
heard that.
you 50% and 50%. So it's not too sour. You sweet berries, and then you put veggies in there, leafy veggies and all this. That will gives
Yeah.
all the greens to help the detox and all this. So this is the easier way to do if you want to do smoothies. And then healthy fats. Healthy fats is the avocados, olive oil, nuts and seeds and all this. But seeds is make sure that you're not taking one that high in seeds. You want to take the whole, either freshly ground or the whole seeds, because if you buy the grounded seeds, how long the seeds have been sitting there, like especially those that are more sensitive, like omega-3, that is precursor form. This oil in the seeds, once you blend it, you need to consume it fast, unless you put in a freezer. Can live
Okay.
a while. But that's why I don't buy, if I buy seed that is crushed, I don't buy the what they call powder seeds. The reason, because you can open it, you can smell, literally. I tried before with flax seeds. If you leave it for some time, very quick, because flaxseed oil omega-3 is good, but it needs to convert into EPA, longer chain fatty acids, but these are highly susceptible to oxidation. So your flax seeds, you need to, either, for me is I take a fresh flax seeds and then grind it, I keep it for a week, but in the freezer. So at least it doesn't oxidize that fast. That's one of my strategic techniques. Or if you because if you leave it there, you can smell the oil oxidize very fast. So in fact, oxidized oil is the one that's bad oil, I call it. It is inflammation oil.
Wow. Okay.
So that understanding is important when you eat seeds or even fish oil as well. Fish oil also. Fish oil, you want to EPA plus DHA, you want to take a high quality one, fish oil. The reason, because the cheaper version, most likely the oxidized version. I'm not sure I mentioned before. Long time ago, I read a study of New Zealand and Australia. The students in, I think, University of Griffith, I can't remember which one, they did studies of, I think, 20 plus university, I mean, like about 20 plus chemists around Australia and New Zealand. They got all the fish oil, buy, and then they see all their brands in terms of the content of the fish oil, the normal strength, double strength, triple strength, and then they compare the content of the, because they want to see how maintain the quality of the oil it is in Australia and New Zealand products. And then they found out that the up to 50%, it's quite a lot in fact, that the EPA plus DHA, what they claim in the bottle, is not what they claim. The reason is because they say in the report is not necessarily because they didn't put it in. What they are more concerned is because the oil has been oxidized. It cannot be detected. It becomes what do you call something like foul, when something like smells already. It is not it is because they react, they oxidize and they react, they no longer is detected as EPA or DHA.
Okay. Yeah.
So being oxidized. Based on that study observation long time ago, I decided every time I get my fish oil, I try to get the one with a triple strength, because based on their looking at these reports, is they found out that those that care to make it to triple strength, which is more concentrate EPA plus DHA with 670 something and above, up to a gram per dose, these are the one that has most of the EPA plus DHA intact. Yeah, rancid, that's the word.
Rancid.
That's why some people, they take a fish oil, they have very bad burping.
Oh, okay.
If you don't have issue with your gut, obviously. If you have issue with your gut, then it's very hard to tell. Like me,
yes,
some of the fish oil I take, I feel burp, then I know, okay, this is off, definitely, because I take fish oil, I don't have issues. So you know. See? So these are practical things that it helps to pick the right kind of.
The way to know that fish oil is not good is if you're burping, and that means
one of the reasons. I think it's pretty good.
Man,
because you can't smell, because they put all the deodorizer.
Saying wow, like stop saying wow. I wrote a sign here. Stop saying wow, because I'm sick of myself. But he just come out with these great facts, and wow just comes out.
No, this is true. This is what I look at the studies, all this, and then I found out that I find a strategy to get the most out of fish oil. And from my experience, all my triple strength that I buy before never have issues. Some
Okay.
of the cheaper versions, sometimes you want to buy something that is on sale and all this, is starting to oxidize. So you start to get some kind of wind burping or something that is, for me, because if you are healthy, sometimes you can pick up something unusual like discomfort and all this. Then it might be one of the signs, because rancid stuff, it's very bad to your body.
Yes.
Anything rancid is bad because it's highly inflammatory. So that's why I tell people, if you want to take fish oil, make sure you buy good quality. If not, don't take it. If you don't can be sure, because chances are it can damage your body more. If it doesn't produce benefit, means that it can damage your body.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
By what I just explained, you see. And these students from university, from New Zealand and Australia, they found out these two countries, not other countries, these two countries, they found out about 50% of it is not.
Terry Fisher here.
I mean, it's about storage issues and all this, you see.
Yeah.
All these storage issues, they don't pay extra to do that kind of effect, and it might compromise their quality. Most likely it is. It's not intentional, but it's just because they want to keep the cost low.
Yes, of
but
course.
Those triple strength one, they invest more into the product already. Then of course you pay more. Chances are you get the benefits of it. So I rather have more chances. That my thinking is, if I get more chance to get the concentration to be accurate, they say about up to 80% accurate. With
Do you have a product of fish oil that you like?
Triple strength, the one, BioGlen. BioGlen is one, is triple strength one. The other one is I can't think of it. Was it Chemist Own? My dog usually have the Chemist Own triple strength one. When he was around, he has arthritis, age of 13 or something, and he cannot walk, like I mentioned before. One dose of triple strength gets him up walking.
That's incredible.
That's when I realized that, is he that
good?
good?
Or a little dog?
Big Doberman. Largest
it's a Doberman. That's incredible.
And when it's very heavy, I think 80 kilos or something. It's very heavy, and because of old age, he's arthritis, so he come to a stage that he cannot walk. Literally, we gave fish oil in the morning. That's how we make sure that he can walk around at least.
You don't see Dobermans as much anymore. It's a dog that I used to see when I was young. You don't seem to see it. It's a rare breed.
One time it's very, very popular as well.
Yeah, it was very popular once. Now not so much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Jan Murphy, I picked that up from hearing you, Michael. I say wow all the time. That's true. When me and Jan Murphy meet, we just sit there looking at each other and going, wow. She goes, wow.
Yeah. So
sardines. How about sardines? Would getting fish oil from sardine.
Very undervalued sardine. You have, if you look it up, sardine actually quite a lot of fish. Small fishes actually in terms of the amount they have, pound per pound, they have more fish oil in there. Sardines, mackerel, all the canned food, canned one, you have fish oil in there. Up to I think 300 milligrams or something, EPA. It's about half of the triple strength one usually. Almost.
Okay. All right. Half the triple strength one. Well, that's really interesting.
Depends on the quality, of course, all this, but it's cheaper though. I mean, if you want to have fish and all this, if you don't mind, right?
Yeah.
And you can see that, some people, you want to learn how to make the sardine taste nice as well. Of course, that's also.
Well, there you go. The reason, Jason, it's repeating on you is that it's off, buddy. You're eating off rancid fish oil. Sardines, frigging nasty shit.
Yeah, if oil is off, it's rancid, and that's why they have this deodorizer for the fish oil. Nowadays, you cannot smell it because like a perfume. You have like whatever flavor in there that's so strong that you can.
Oh, that's why it is flavored to the gun. The
hiding. It's not just for your taste.
No, they're hiding the fact that it's rancid. Stop it!
It's business. That's why it's cheap. Some of the oil are very cheap. But I bet you try to take and see, then you can try and see. Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible.
So the next one, what do you talk about? Protein, veggies, healthy fats, complex carbs. I mean, you're trying to have more complex carbs so that you can have more of the fiber to feed your gut bacteria to helps to heal. Same thing also, you need to think of feeding gut bacteria, not so much on the dairy type of product first because of the reason I explained, but just something like carbohydrates and all this, they are complex, like you call resistant starch. If you look it up, like green bananas, things are not ripe yet, it's very fibrous, that kind of stuff. And you can look it up, all this kind of fiber stuff. That's the one that helps you to build better gut immunity, what do you call the repair as well. And then the step 2 is a reinduction phase. After you about 3 to 4 weeks, you feel quite okay. You are not taking the gluten, all this. You want to try to reintroduce your food again, is to know which one you're more sensitive to. It takes about 2 weeks or 2 weeks or so. So I think this is a time also, if you want to test, you can also test that whether you have leaky gut or not. Actually, there's a test called lactulose/mannitol challenge test. It's to test a leaky gut. You look it up. It's quite common now. People testing
Could you
for leaky
put that
gut.
in the private chat? Just so
Yeah, let me.
if you know how to spell it.
Yeah, it's a long name, you know. It's a lactulose. Hang on, L. Lactulose and mannitol challenge test. What it does is when you have leaky gut, means that it leaks. So the lactulose is a large molecule that can leak in the bloodstream and go into your kidneys, and you can pass out in your urine. So when your test shows that you have high lactulose, means that you have leaky gut. There's no question, because they are large molecules. And then the mannitol challenge, mannitol is the small one to prove that you absorb. It's like a control that you absorb into a system. Your absorption is fine, so you absorb the mannitol into your bloodstream, and then means that if you have the leaky gut, you will have high lactulose and high mannitol in your urine. That's how they test. And then if you have some problem with absorption, like celiac disease, there's one way to give a pinpoint as well. Your mannitol will be low instead of high. This is one thing also you can pick that up, because your absorption of nutrients is not working properly. Even mannitol, small sugar, cannot absorb properly. And celiac disease is the destroying of the autoimmune as well.
Yes.
Destruction of the brush border, and they are highly autoimmune reaction towards gluten. Little bit of gluten can cause havoc with celiac. That's why.
Can I ask a question here? Oh, sorry, Lee. Kathy wants to know, what is the substitute when you're allergic to seafood for fish oil? Is there a substitute?
Seafood. Have you tried? Is it shellfish allergic or?
She says seafood, fish, shellfish, and fish oil.
Oh, okay. So
sensitive lady.
Interesting. You have to use the flaxseed oil then.
Flaxseed oil, okay. Kathy?
Or if you don't mind spending more, better one is seaweed. Is it seaweed? Algae? Yeah, they have. Is it seaweed or some kind of sea? I can't remember on top of my head, but it's for vegan, that one. So definitely it's plant-based. So plant-based omega-3, but from the sea. So they have EPA instead of the linoleic acid. So this is how to tell whether you got leaky gut as well. So it's good that you test before you even start reduction phase. So to rule it out completely, you see.
Yes.
But for me personally, you don't have to spend twice, because you don't want to prove your leaky gut first, because you want to feel better anyway. So try that one first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I trying to, not doing things unnecessarily if you don't want. If you want, you still can to diagnose yourself leaky gut. But even you do the elimination diet, can help with your body health, and definitely will help with if you have leaky gut, definitely help with repairs as well. So you want to test your food, one food group at a time. And then you give 3 days to test, and then 3 days to wash out before trying the next one. And then you just measure.
It's quite a time. Takes a bit of time to get this. This
right. But once you understand that, you can read your body quite well next time.
Yeah.
That is how you become better at knowing your body. and you track your brain fog, fatigue, and all these pain, joints, and all these whatever things you list out. And then you give 3 days to wash up, and then try another food group again. You repeat over and over. And I would say that if you already proven healed, and as long as the leaky gut is not there, I would say that you don't want to introduce too much of the gluten, all this straight away as well. Periodically, you might want to test the leaky gut, because until your autoimmune has been dealt with, once the gate has been closed, let's say the leaky gut, right? I say the gate has been closed, you don't take the gluten. If you have autoimmune symptoms, you want to live for months, at least 6 months or so forth, for your body immune memory to die off. Your immune memory. So if you some part of the process you introduce gluten again sufficient enough to trigger the memory, then it will all start again. So that is for people autoimmune disease. But if you haven't have any autoimmune disease, that is the best time to start and to get yourself to know whether you're leaky gut and all this risk or not. Because we all have some form of leaky issues when you take gluten. Or when
What
you're
about
exposed to
hemp
spice
seed
proteins.
oil? Says Martha.
Yeah, hemp seed oil is good as well. Yeah. But I don't know, is it more on the omega? If plant-based oil for anti-inflammatories like EPA plus DHA, they are in the precursor form. So it means that they need to elongate to become the EPA or the DHA by your body system.
Yeah.
And your body do general populations 10% to 6% of conversions only. So you think of the dose. If possible, if you're not well, you want to be well, you want to have higher EPA plus. Like me, I can take like 1,000 milligram of EPA plus DHA per dose. Usually, it's this much dose you want to take. Autophagy definitely is very good. Autophagy is another thing. Probably one time I want to talk about if you talk about ketogenic diet and all this. There is another whole set of things that's very powerful stuff. But I think you want to conquer this part first properly, so that you shift your food towards the one that's not causing inflammations and generating too much of the leaky issue that brings all this accumulative effect for future or currently developing autoimmune problems that is underlying. Yeah.
Hey, Karen. There's now it's almost we're just coming up to 2 hours. If we can get it under 2 hours, then the AI makes a load of shorts for us. So can we wrap this up in the next 8 minutes?
Sure. Yeah. So just in closing, I would say that the most important thing you want to know is how this long COVID fatigue, all this is caused by the spike protein that affect your immune system, drains your energy, but we'll talk about the energy part later on. But more important for this time is your autoimmune problems that potential autoimmune problems that you want to mitigate it. So it means that if it's a woman, you want to know how to calm your overreactive immune system, which if you feel all the tired, fatigue and all this, it might be because of that. And elimination diet, all this can help. And if estrogen is low, if it's diagnosed low, I say it's past menopause, all this, might need supplements with the estrogen form just to help with your immunity as well.
Yeah.
And for the men, of course, you want to pay more attention to help with your immune to restore, because you don't have extra copies of the immune genes in your X chromosome. Yes, if you're low in testosterone, you want to help improve because it affects immunity. I didn't know that part as well.
What's a good thing for increasing testosterone?
I have to look much into that one, but in general, if you eat the food that what was the backbone of you need cholesterol. Cholesterol is the backbone of all hormones.
So you cholesterol is good for, and we're all on anti-cholesterol drugs.
I tell you, yes.
Probably why all the men feel sexless.
I tell you one thing. before I noticed a pattern in early days of my pharmacy when they sell a lot of these Lipitor. At that time, it's still blockbuster drugs. They also sell a lot of Viagra. I think it's the second top.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
related. I found
Yeah.
out.
That is really
So,
interesting. If discover more
so
of Lee's
if
work, you go here to his Patreon. That's his Patreon account here. Patreon Kind Art. Yeah. That's
Kingdom,
really interesting. So
yeah.
the reducing testosterone with anti-cholesterol drugs and the
I
trying
don't
to
think it's their intention, but it still happen. If you look it up, cholesterol in terms of the tree structure, they make women's hormones, the progesterone, estrogen, your testosterone, your androgen, every genes you can talk of, they are all backbone with cholesterol.
yeah, wow.
And the
I'm going
body
there too, Karen. I'll
make
see
the
you
cholesterol.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen's going to
So,
my place Saturday. Yeah.
so you have to understand how important it is your cholesterol it is. So whether about the cholesterol medication is other time, but I would say that cholesterol is very important for your testosterone if you're a man, for women to be estrogen, your progesterone, and all this to deal with stress. Even I mean, they are all backbone. The cortisol, all this built with cholesterol backbones. If you look it up, it's a very
Yeah, sure.
interesting big chart of it. Next time I can bring that one if I talk about cholesterol. And
Yeah.
long COVID, you want to talk about the gut immune connections. Make sure that you can deal with it. Understand elimination diet as much as possible in regards to your gluten and your milk protein, casein, because these two are the main one that can has been shown to link or associate to autoimmune problems even before the COVID and all this. And you don't want to add more stress on top of what the spike protein is already doing. So you want to understand that part when you deal with all the food that you eat and all these the things that you do. So here we go. So long COVID fatigue is not just about taking energy and all this. The foundation, the background is cooking in the background. I believe is currently is autoimmune things is being cooking now, and it is very subtle until it's like a last straw that breaks the camel's back kind of thing. Then you develop the autoimmune conditions. But
Mhm.
if you have family history of certain autoimmune disease, probably you want to measure that stuff like anti-ANA for SLE or thyroid. Thyroid is the most common one you can done if you have some kind of thyroid issues. You feel your energy levels, all this. You want to check your thyroid whether you got anti-TPO. It's a very common thing to check nowadays. Anti-thyroglobulin. These two are the main one that tell you whether you're Hashimoto's or some kind of thyroid disease as well.
Mm. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you so much. It's so much information. I feel like I'm getting hit on the head, and it's I'm actually concentrating here not to say wow all the time. There's
You
been
can
so
hear
much.
again. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's amazing. I'm so glad we're doing this. Because it's slowly getting some grasp on it. Because yeah, it's great how you're doing it, Lisa. Congratulations, man. And
Thank you.
I'll say again, if you want to go to where did I put it? Uh, so here it is. Here, there's to discover more in detail. Go to his Patreon account there. Wow, brother, 2 hours, man. You're a machine. You've probably been working all day as well.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Hopefully
you're
one day I
amazing.
don't have to. That's why I'm working on it as well. Because getting out to help people, I think is much more satisfactory.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm
and
building.
even
I'm
everyone
building.
else is saying wow now. Terry Fisher's saying wow. Jan's saying wow. That's so it's great. Great show. Yeah. Yeah. It's my bus died today, so I've been up since 4 because the mechanic Rick kindly was working on the bus. I put petrol in by mistake. And but she's all good now. So I'm a little weary, but it's not bored. I'm just a little weary. Stefan says wow too. Maybe we should just call this
Yeah.
the wow show.
Wow, sure.
Yeah.
Interesting way of saying it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, great. Well, we'll stay online. Is there anything else you want to say before we go?
I think most important is as much as you the information out there. Make sure you get the information can truly help you, and you can measure your result, hopefully, so that you know whether the things that you are doing and learning and all this is beneficial to you. You know, it's not so much on the details of it, it's about the understanding of it. Once
Yeah,
you
I get it.
understand, you will fear less. You know, fear
Yeah.
is always a product of lack of certain understanding.
And it goes for 3 hours. Yeah, I think what you're actually saying is it's time to take responsibility of your own health.
Exactly.
Don't go and just get a
Responsibility.
pill. You gotta go, okay, well, how does my body work? What works best with it? What doesn't work with it? So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always good to understand on how your body function in the context when you learn the information. So
Yeah,
every time I mention here is always in the context of women, men, certain things, you know, it's always must able to contextualize so that you have a better understanding of for your personal health instead
yeah,
of someone else. Like
yeah.
carnivore diet. I can never have carnivore diet because I know I cannot tolerate even a big steak. Like certain size of steak I can't digest enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I cannot digest easily red meat.
Oh, that's interesting.
So,
Yeah.
so this is just my genetics. So I don't want to
Yeah, I
fight it.
understand.
I do enjoy it. I just have smaller portion
Hey,
or
I don't like chili, man. And I bet you like chili.
not really. After
Oh,
I come
really?
into
I don't
Australia,
like food. I don't like food that fights back.
fights back. Oh, okay, makes sense. I like the way you describe.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's true, you know. But the thing,
yeah.
I had some really great Indian friends, but I hated going to their house because they always wanted to feed me, and they'd always give me hot stuff. And the only way to get through it was to eat it really fast. But then they think, oh, you're really
And then
hungry.
you
Here, have another
suffer,
plate.
and then
And
you
you're
give you
going,
more,
so you had to
and then you
balance it.
suffer later.
You had to balance it. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming on, Lee. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Everyone here is loving it. So let's see. Do you have any idea what you want to talk about next week, or are you going to think about it
yeah. I
during the
think the
fortnight?
next 2 weeks, most likely maybe I like to connect the dots so that whenever you go through all this,
Yeah.
it's related. Probably more on the brain fog because fatigue has a lot to do with the brain fog.
Brain fog's huge. Well, I'll see if we
Huge.
can start advertising brain fog. Everyone's suffering from it. It's incredible.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. And we go to
Yeah.
the roots of it so we can
Yeah.
really know
Yeah.
how to deal with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And they say it's despairing hearing people talk about it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Well,
exactly.
thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming on.
No,
And I'll see you guys tomorrow night, Thursday night. I'll be on with Robin, Tom from What the Fuck, Wayne from What the Fuck, and we'll be watching from 8 o'clock. We'll be watching and commenting on Four Corners' hit piece on the freedom movement. And none of us have watched it, so we're all going to watch it for the first time and comment on it. So it'll be interesting to see whether it's balanced, whether it's an attack. So we'll see tomorrow at 8 o'clock, the four of us. But having Wayne and Tom on and Robin together, I think it's going to be a hell of a show. Yeah. God bless, Lee. Thanks for the
no,
work you're doing
thanks.
for us. It's good
Always.
work. Go check out his Patreon account. It says that he's taking a big risk doing this, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Take care, brother. And we're going to go
Always.
out with the B song, with the new B song, and we'll see it there. Take care. Be free.
Historically, we are the debris, forgotten faces, never more to be. Instead of legends fighting for something that had no guarantees, living ghosts we chose to live and die as their worker bees.
Great, Wendy.
Why didn't
Send
we
a
break
photo of
out
yourself in the t-shirt.
from